Hello, Perkiomen Valley. Today's video is intended to provide you with information regarding the possible models of learning at Perkiomen Valley School District. What you will see in this video are our thoughts as of July 17th, 2020. We recognize that information is rapidly changing, and we will continue to make adjustments and refine our plans based upon new information. It is our hope that this video assists you in completing the survey that you have received. Please recognize that what is depicted in the video does not represent any final decisions and is meant more to update you on our current thinking. We've identified 3 possible models for the reopening of school in the fall and recognize that we may have to shift left or right on this spectrum based upon health recommendations. As an overview, the traditional model is the closest to what we know school to look like. At the other end of the spectrum, virtual learning consists of students learning in an environment other than school. And in the middle is a hybrid model which combines pieces of both traditional and virtual. This video will provide further details about our thinking for each model. As we continue to progress through the summer, we've learned that the traditional model may not be feasible at this time. We continue to strive for a traditional return, but recognize that we may need to be prepared for other models. I'm first going to speak about the 2 ends of the spectrum, traditional and virtual. Then we'll share how the hybrid model looks. The traditional model is the closest to normal operations of school as we can be, with appropriate health and safety measures in place, such as masks and social distancing. In this mode, staff and students return to a normal schedule. We understand that some families may not be able to return to a traditional school and may need a virtual option. Before we discuss the virtual and hybrid models, I'd like to share that we are cognizant of the continued professional development and collaboration needs for our staff in either the hybrid or virtual model, as well as time for necessary meetings. At this time, we are considering in both of these models the incorporation of a professional growth day, possibly on Wednesdays, which would also allow for additional cleaning midweek. The frequency and feasibility of a day such as this is yet to be determined. We've learned a lot from our virtual voyage this past spring and saw tremendous growth in our use of modern resources and instructional strategies in a virtual environment. We also identified areas for improvement. All of this feedback has assisted us in developing Virtual Voyage 2.0. This model builds upon the spring by increasing face time with teachers, bringing structure to the day, and a return to more normal attendance and grading structures. Guiding principles that have been incorporated into the development of the virtual schedules include increased live instruction from PV teachers, whole group instruction opportunities, as well as opportunities for small group instruction, including interventions and individual check-ins, a focus on social emotional well-being of students, and recognizing that we need to chunk our learning time to provide breaks from the screen. So what might virtual learning look like at the elementary level? At the elementary level, we have identified blocks of time for each instructional area. This chart represents the number of minutes allotted to each instructional area for synchronous learning. For example, English Language Arts whole group instruction in grade 3 may occur for up to 30 minutes. Just as in the physical classroom, teachers will chunk that block of time to best meet the needs of their learners. Time is built into the schedule for group work led by teachers and paraprofessionals with small groups of students, similar to stations in the physical classroom. Morning meeting time will provide opportunities for check-ins with students and social emotional learning. Specials will continue, and of course, allotted time for lunch and downtime for students. Similarly, a teacher schedule would include preparation time. Please recognize that this chart does not depict an actual student day, and each grade level would have different times for each area noted. At the secondary level, our principals have developed a virtual schedule similar to our schedule when in school, with each period having an identified time to meet synchronously. Again, we are still fine-tuning these schedules, but in this sample middle school student schedule, you can see about 30 minutes allotted to each period with a 20-minute transition time to the next period. Similarly, the high school sample schedule follows the typical school schedule, but with 35-minute synchronous times for each period. Secondary schedules will also include at least a weekly time identified for social and emotional check-ins and opportunities for individual support or small group instruction. You may be wondering how the Virtual Voyage 2.0 compares to cyber schools or even to our own cyber program, PV Virtual. This graphic represents similarities and differences between these instructional deliveries. As explained, our Virtual Voyage 2.0 will provide live learning to our students by our own PV teachers. PV Virtual is our district-operated virtual school that is overseen by PV teachers and administration and was expanded to K-12 students this past school year. PV Virtual is a fully virtual experience for enrolled Perkiomen Valley students in which students work in an online course platform to complete work assigned by Pennsylvania certified teachers. The majority of the coursework is asynchronous, meaning self-paced. Then there is the cyber school option. While similar to PV Virtual, families selecting this option withdraw from Perkiomen Valley to enroll in their chosen cyber school. These schools are not overseen by PV and continue to provide mainly asynchronous learning. Moving to the final model of instruction, the hybrid model. This model has half of the students attending on some days at school, with the other half working virtually, then switching locations throughout the week. The hybrid model is a combination of both traditional, but in smaller groups, and virtual learning. PV is considering two formats for instruction on virtual days in the hybrid model. One format involves video conferencing, where the group of students at home join the live instruction via video conferencing software, such as Google Meet or Zoom. Those students participate in the live lesson even though they are at home. This format requires some technology, hardware and software, and the ability to manage both a virtual group and a live group at the same time. However, all students are receiving the same instruction and activities at the same time. The other format is a flipped classroom model. While we continue to investigate the feasibility of the video conferencing format, at this time we are recommending the flipped classroom model. In this model, when students are in person with the teacher for 2 to 3 days a week, they participate in group discussions, guided practice. They work collaboratively and receive direct instruction as needed. On the 2 to 3 virtual days, students work asynchronously on activities and learning provided by the teacher. These could include videos, readings, projects, and application of learning. The curriculum continues to progress even while students are not in person. This screen shares an example of a flipped classroom and what might be occurring on virtual versus in-person days. We recognize that this format will require some professional development and support. We are working on examples in each content area to provide further direction. The schedule in a hybrid model depicts two groups of students. We are still investigating how to split students into these two groups, possibly by last name or by transportation zone, similar to kindergarten scheduling. When students are in school, they follow their normal schedule. This mode reduces the number of students physically present on any given day. Oops. The secondary model looks identical except for the times of the student and staff day. In the hybrid model, staff work normal hours all days and deliver live instruction 4 to 5 days of the week. Hopefully, you feel a bit more informed about our current thinking regarding instructional models for the reopening of schools this fall. Now we'd like to know what you are thinking. Please take time to complete the survey you've recently received. And stay tuned to the district website and communications for updates about our reopening plans. As always, we encourage your participation in our school board meetings and want to hear your thoughts. We hope you and your family are remaining healthy and know that together we will do what is best for our students. Thank you.